Welcome back to the Cedar podcast. This is the second episode. I'm your host, Mahmoud, and today we are going to talk about personal development. This is a concept that many people have, in my opinion, to work on so you can develop yourself physically, mentally, emotionally. All of the things that I'm going to say in this episode will be of some use to someone. You don't have to just take everything with a grain of salt. You don't have to take it all to heart. I'm not a scientist, I'm not a psychologist. I'm just doing my part to contribute in helping people make themselves feel better about themselves at the end of the day. So, let's get started. The first thing you can do is to gain more knowledge. Okay, now I'm not telling you to go read a book. You don't have to go read 5 books, physics books, chemistry books, math books. No, you can go on YouTube. Okay, so you right now listening to this episode, go on YouTube and search for something that you're interested in and you want to get better at. Or you can use Google. You can Google things and then you can read articles about them, scientific papers, anything like that. Another amazing resource that I've been using day by day is LinkedIn Learning. So LinkedIn Learning is a resource where you can go. People can make courses over there and you can watch them, listen to these courses. Depending on what you want, there are courses that you don't have to watch, but you can just listen to, like this podcast, and you can just learn things. So you don't have to learn, 2 hours, 3 hours a day. Just something as little as 20 minutes is good enough. Personally, I'm using LinkedIn Learning right now to learn about search engine optimization because I'm a business major and I feel that search engine optimization is going to be very important in the years to come because right now everyone's learning online. The whole world is going online, even more than it was 2-3 years back. So search engine optimization is just one of the many things that is going to be more and more important as time goes on. Even if we weren't going through a pandemic right now, search engine optimization is one of the things that I'm really interested in learning about, and that's why I'm doing it. So, and by the way, that's another thing. Don't go and learn about something that you are not at all interested in. If you have some small ounce of interest in it, then go ahead and learn it. Who knows? You might find yourself wanting to learn more about it. So for example, let's say that you are a business major in college right now, and one of your career counselors told you to go and learn about, let's say, accounting, managerial accounting, okay, or cost budgeting. And let's say you don't want to learn that, but you find out later on when you start doing it that you have a natural aptitude for it, that you're very good at it, and then much later, you end up liking it. So what I'm trying to get at here, in summary, is to take a risk in trying something new, because you never know, you might like it. For example, if we're going to talk about this from a gamer's perspective, let's say I'm a gamer, I'm not a big fan of adventure games. Okay, I'm not a big fan of these games such as Legend of Zelda and so on. But then I started playing it and I actually enjoy the game and it becomes one of my favorite games. All because I took that small risk. Okay? So you can take that with a grain of salt. You might, this might not work for everyone, of course, but try it out. You have nothing to lose. Another thing when it comes to gaining more knowledge is to have meaningful discussions with other people. Have conversations with other people. Productive conversations. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, don't just go and talk about the latest movie in the cinema. Okay? Try to have a discussion that really stimulates your thought process, that really makes you think. Okay? You don't have to talk about controversial topics. You can talk about things that really hit home for you. So, for example, if you and your friend are sitting down and both of you are business students, for example. By the way, I'm a business major, which is why you're going to be hearing a lot of examples of business. Me being a business student back in university days. So if you and your friend are both business students sitting down, just chatting, and then your friend asks, "Hey, by the way, have you read about so and so company engaging in so and so corporate social responsibility?" And then you would respond, and then a conversation would start between both of you. It's a very meaningful discussion. You are having a productive discussion, if you want to call it that. You might call it something else, but in my opinion, there are productive conversations and there are not so productive conversations where you're just talking with no substance to it. There's nothing significant that is going to come out of it in the end. Another thing you can do is to join communities, okay? So join online communities and learn things from other people that you never know. I'm not just saying that you should go and have conversations with people you know. You should also have conversations with random people on the internet, because those people, they have experience. The more people you talk to, the more new things that you're going to learn, okay? And that goes without saying, but I just want to remind you that if you go right now and talk, just, strike up a conversation with a random stranger on the street, you might learn a thing or two that you never ever knew, and then you can utilize later in your life. But that's going to be it for knowledge gaining, okay? Knowledge, we're always learning. So at the end of the day, just try and learn something new, okay? Even if it takes you 3 minutes, even if it takes you a minute, when you're going to have when you go and talk to your dad, for example, and he tells you a quote that really, strikes you hard, it really resonates with you. So as long as you learn something new every day, you're fine. You are fine. Next, the second way of developing yourself is to master transferable skills. Now, if you're not familiar with what a transferable skill is, simply put, it is a skill that you can use anywhere. Okay, so time management, listening, organization, writing, all of these skills you can use in pretty much any field of work. You can pretty much use it anywhere. And that's why it's important to strive to master those ones. Don't go and master the ones that are not very transferable, like software development. Now, maybe in the future that will be a transferable skill, but for now it is a technical skill. It's a skill that you cannot really use it in as many fields as the ones I mentioned: organization, time management, project management, project planning, and so on. Okay? And also, to go a step further, why don't you go and try to get certified with these transferable skills? This will help boost your credibility. And in a way, this is starting to go into professional development territory. But I mean, it's also a way to develop yourself personally. So you can get organized, you can work on organization skills while you are at home and you have nothing to do. You can try to clean your room, make your bed every day. So, these things all add up. You can start to manage your time effectively, get a planner, get a diary, apps like Trello and Evernote, these productivity apps. They're being used all around the world. They're very good apps. And again, this is not a sponsored video, so I'm just telling you from my own experiences, the apps that I did use before, that I use now, so you can just get an idea. People need reminders every now and then that these apps exist. Now, so so far we've talked about gaining more knowledge, mastering transferable skills such as organization, time management. Now, a third aspect of personal development, and this is a very, very mental one, it focuses on your mental health, is to develop a positive outlook on life, okay? Now, even if, let's say that you lost your job and you have no family that can take care of you right now, and you are about to not, you're about to declare bankruptcy, it's not the end of the world, okay? It's not the end of the world. Now, there are people out there who are going through much more difficult times than others, but in the end, it is not the end of the world, okay? You should be positive about some things, okay? Because, I mean, if you think about it on a scale from 0 to 100, your life cannot be 100% bad. It cannot, okay? It has to at least have 1% good in it, okay? You still have the knowledge, you still have the experience, the expertise, so that's the good in it. It's not like someone came and sucked the intelligence out of you. You have something, okay? You have a purpose, you have a goal, you're determined to reach that goal. So, now, by having a positive outlook on life, you should not fake it, you should believe in it, okay? So you shouldn't just go and say, life is good to everyone you meet 24/7. because that's faking it. You should believe in it. You should be confident in it. Okay, because you need to remember that life is not always fair. You need to turn the bad things in life that happen to you into a good thing in life. Okay, you should. And now I'm not going to tell you how to do that because it differs from person to person, but that's pretty much what something that you should do no matter what happens to you. So, for example, let's say that you lost one of your grandparents. Okay, so this is going in a more. I'm going to talk this in a more personal light. So, when I lost my grandmother, okay, I didn't cry and I didn't just cry for days to come. No, I told myself, would she want me to be upset and sad for many days, or would she want me to get up and continue going further, going on? Would she want me to move forward and make my life and think about my life? Because she was my grandmother. She taught me a lot of things in life. I don't think she would have wanted me to sit there and just be upset and sad, right? Now, again, this differs from person to person, but that's just my personal. That's what happened to me. That's what I thought. It's like, would she want me to just sit there and do nothing? I have to turn the bad into a good thing. I need to move on. I have to move forward. You cannot just keep dwelling on it. Just move on. Okay? So, these things that I mentioned, confidence, self-esteem, all of these things should be taken care of, okay? You should not fake any of these things. You should just be confident in what you have, okay? Because all of you right now, every person in this world has potential, okay? If you ever think that you're useless or worthless, well, you're wrong, my friend. I'm telling you, you are wrong, okay? Because all of us have a purpose. All of us have a goal, a destination. Now, some people might not believe in destiny or fate or what have you, but I'm just saying that all of us have potential to do great things. We all have potential to do great things. Now, I don't know, maybe you might think, but I'm not a celebrity or I'm not a world leader. I don't, nobody cares about me. Well, that's where you're wrong, because as long as you're living, you have something. You have some talent, something that other people might not have. Okay? But in today's world, it is very competitive. We know that there are billions of people living on the world right now. I think 7 billion, 8 billion. So we need to find something that sets us apart from the competition. But we're not talking about competition right now. We're talking about having a positive outlook. So those are the three main things that I wanted to discuss today in today's episode. So we have gaining more knowledge, mastering transferable skills, and developing a positive outlook on life. So you will know, if you noticed, all of those three large categories, those umbrella categories, all of those have something to do with mental health. Okay, so I didn't talk about developing yourself physically. That comes in a later episode, but today we just talked about mental personal development, gaining more knowledge, expanding your skill set, mastering those skills, and at the end of the day, developing a positive outlook on life. Because life is not always fair. You need to remember that. Life, one day could be the best day ever for you, and then the next day, something happens where everything takes a turn for the worse, okay? Just remember those 5 words. Life is not always fair. Because if you fake the positive outlook, you're going to be miserable. Okay, you're going to be very miserable. Be confident in your capabilities. Okay, you have to also endure. Just keep enduring. Okay, survive. Have high self-esteem. You're not useless. You're not worthless. No matter what you might think. Let's say that people are bullying you. Okay, I was bullied back in grade 5, 6. Okay, it happens. People get bullied, but should you take that negatively and make the bully's life better? No, you should turn the bad thing into a good thing. Okay, go out there and show that you are the boss. Okay, but anyways, it's been about 15 minutes. So we're going to stop for today's episode. I think you guys got the gist of what we were talking about. So to summarize, I'm going to have a small summary at the end of each episode, just so that I can have a quick recap. So number 1, gain more knowledge, even if it's as little as 20 minutes per day, 10 minutes per day. Okay, do 10 minutes per day. It's fine. At least learn something new every day. Okay. Number 2, master those transferable skills. Okay, skills that you can use in any field. Master them. Strive to master them. And number 3 is to develop a positive outlook on life and believe in it. Be confident in yourself. So, with all that said, this has been the second episode of the Cedar podcast. I'm still trying to determine on which days I should release an episode. I think Wednesday is a good day because Wednesday is the middle of the week, and so since this is a motivational, inspirational podcast, I want people that are, in the middle of the week to listen to it and get motivated to get through the rest of the week, if that makes any sense. So that's why I think Wednesdays, there's going to be an episode every Wednesday, 100%. And I think for now I will just stick to an episode a week. I'm still trying to I'm still trying to understand what days are better to upload episodes on, etc. Because I'm thinking of my audience. I'm thinking of all of those factors. So I'm going to stop talking right now. I want you all to take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Okay, I'm going to keep repeating this because it is a reminder. People need to get reminded. Stay safe out there. Take care of everyone close to you. Don't go out unless absolutely necessary, okay? On that final note, this has been the second episode of the Cedar podcast. I will see you guys in the third episode. Stay safe and see you later.